Hey, how's it doing? Last time we made a video about this guy, on Saturday, we had hundreds of comments, a bunch of views, and a very similar sentiment coming out of this video that said that y'all were disappointed. Well, today we are expanding even more on the guy that is disappointing. 2020 first overall pick Alexis Lafreniere. Now, in the last video, we kind of went over some Rangers fans' perspectives. We had talked about what was being said on social media, Twitter, Reddit, just some of the boiling over, pent-up disappointment that was being unleashed towards this guy because of the way he was playing in the preseason. Now, you don't need the scoop, you get it. First overall guy, disappointing guy. He was not really producing all too much. He is not a first overall caliber kind of player in the NHL. Even though, back when he was in the QMJHL, you could debate that he was very much so. However, things got even worse ever since we had made that video on Saturday, because now you have yourselves articles like this popping up in the New York Post going over how Peter Laviolette's job is pretty difficult right now. He's still weighing Alexis Lafreniere and a decision to be made amid his disappointing Rangers camp. This article was published yesterday by Larry Brooks, and it goes over in the intro how, for each of the last 2 days, Alexis Lafreniere skated at left wing on what would appear to be third-line type units. On Tuesday, he rotated with Will Coyle on a line that included Barclay Goodrow to the middle and Pitlick on the right. This, though, apparently does not represent a response from head coach Peter Laviolette on number 13's largely disappointing play so far. Brooks also says here, neither does this mean that Laviolette has seen enough of Lafreniere at right wing as the Blue Shirts prepare for these back-to-back exhibition matches in New Jersey on Wednesday and at the Garden on Thursday against Boston. Here's what Laviolette has said. Lafreniere is not going to play Wednesday, and with the extra players, I'm trying to get reps in there. If he played on the left wing during the entire practice, it was not intentional. I actually had him slotted on the right side, so I don't know how it exactly panned out in practice. But the people I did want to take reps are the people who are going to play in New Jersey. He's already played 3 games, so I don't think it's necessary for him to play 5. So he'll be one of the guys who sits out, and you'll most likely see him back in New York. Now, why exactly is this intro a big deal? What does it even mean? Well, the reason is, for Alexis Lafreniere, this is a guy that a lot of people said if he plays right wing, this could be the opportunity he needs to quote-unquote break out at the NHL level. You could say there are roughly 3 things that contributed to the disappointing way Lafreniere's career has gone so far. You could say, firstly, it's a product of the Rangers' development themselves, how they had Lias Andersson, Vitaly Kravtsov, Kaapo Kakko, who is looking pretty okay in my opinion, but who has still gotten off to a very slow start, and eventually Alexis Lafreniere, guys who were drafted highly, touted highly, but who did not exhibit that same success in the NHL. You could say 1, it's their development. You could say 2, maybe it's Lafreniere himself. Maybe he's just not that great of a player. Maybe the skills he had in the QMJHL really weren't all too translatable to higher levels of pro hockey. And then the third thing you could say that really screwed over the Rangers' development of Lafreniere is the fact that they have Panarin and Kreider. Because limited minutes on the left side means limited development time for a guy who kind of needs it, and moving Lafreniere to the right would ease up on some of that burden because you have open spots that can be rotated around at that part of the lineup. Kaapo Kakko is debatably a first-line talent now if you go by that logic, so for Alexis Lafreniere, being on the right means a new opportunity for top 6 minutes and maybe even an opportunity to impress. But oh boy, impress has he not. There are some comments I wanted to read from the article itself. There's a little bit more written about in this piece, but link is going to be in the description if you want to see that yourself here. The first comment on this New York Post article from Ball Crusher. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to question it, don't worry. Before any final decision is made to cut Lafreniere loose, once and for all, he must be given the chance to play left wing and show the new coach what he can do in his natural position. Moving him to the right and then critiquing his play as being ineffective is sabotaging his success. I know that many have already decided he's a bust despite his production of 5-on-5, but the new head coach has got to give him a fair chance at left wing before making his decisions. A reply here from Frank says, "It would be nice if he put in some effort regardless of which side he is evaluated on. Lafreniere hasn't done anything in the preseason games he has played with the opportunity he has been given. You'd expect someone looking to move up in the lineup to be going all out in that process." And you already know that this article was posted onto the Rangers subreddit. This is the top comment from Universal Remonster. "Alexis Lafreniere lacks high-level skill, end production, and outstanding physical attributes. He's underwhelming in just about every conceivable way. Him showing up to camp in a clean slate situation with a new coaching staff and dropping an absolute, oh my goodness, abortion of an effort is just about the cherry on top of his career as a Ranger. If I have to read another MF in here talking about even strength goals, I'm going to lose it. Watch this kid play. He is not a top 6 talent." Then a reply goes out here and says this, "Emphasis on the 5v5 goals part. I am so sick and tired of people saying it like it's a compliment because this team sucks at 5v5. Saying he's one of the top scorers on even strength isn't a compliment on a broader scheme. Last year, he was tied with Vincent Trocheck in 6 most even strength goals. Second in 2022. People need to let go of that 2022 season where the Rangers were getting outplayed at 5v5 by the worst teams imaginable. 3, you have the eye test. The stats can lie, but to an experienced watcher, the eye test doesn't. He doesn't play like a top liner. He can't puck handle or skate well, and he lacks anything that wows us outside of the occasional highlight reel goal. Plus, more noticeable for him than anyone else, his goals were more luck-based compared to the other scores, i.e. a puck slipped in or it was an open net. For the love of goodness, stop pointing out if he had more ice time, because he has looked mediocre in the ice time he has given. You say that line when you see glimpses of good ice time. I really want Lafreniere to succeed. Truly, it would be the greatest thing ever for this franchise, but I'm going to call it like I see it right now. He hasn't done anything that has even lived up to expectations. It's really disappointing and a mismanaged partially on the Rangers' part. Now, you see why I'm making this follow-up video, right? Like, last time we just sort of entered the conversation and brought it up that, hey, there's sort of a backlash going on about this guy. I think it was a good opportunity for fans that are not necessarily Rangers fans to get their fix and see what's going on with this player in this situation here. How it's gotten so bad to the point that you've got a bunch of Rangers fans themselves turning their backs on this guy. And I'm not going to say it's unjustified. This is a guy who has been given more and more as his career has gone on, and he just hasn't done anything with it. He improves point production little by little, year by year, but he doesn't look too much faster. He still is kind of slow. His skating, his mobility, it just isn't what it needs to be a first overall caliber NHL player. And then you have just the lack of effort in the preseason with a brand new coach. This is supposed to be a new opportunity. You can see why fans are turning their backs. To end off this video, we'll read a comment from JP Moneyman. "It really feels like the majority of fans are ready to sour on Lafreniere. Last year, we were all concerned but hopeful that he could turn it around. Now, if he doesn't come out of the gates with at least some level of tangible improvement to his game, it just feels like fans are going to run him out of town. The first 10 to 15 games are really going to be interesting. I hope he comes out with his hair on fire, but I'm definitely worried. If fans start booing him at MSG, I gotta think that's gotta be the last straw for him as a Ranger. I hope I'm wrong. We're looking for some tangible level of improvement. He could have 45 points, but if he's driving play every night and making a difference, that would be acceptable. If he's a passenger and 75% of the game he plays, and he just looks invisible, then yeah, get him out of here." So, this is how things have gone about. Now, there are conversations about whether or not the Rangers should trade him away, whether or not he really needs that change of scenery, and whether or not his career is salvageable as a New York first overall pick. Add this to the list of reasons why Rangers fans are frustrated that New Jersey got 2 first overall picks that are looking pretty good. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Lafreniere situation now? We had some really good conversation in the comment section of the last video, but seeing more articles being written about it, Larry Brooks himself in the title of his piece calls Lafreniere's preseason disappointing. You're seeing more people sort of turn their backs in this situation. How does that make you feel? And how do you think that impacts the way Lafreniere is going to be a Ranger going forward? Is he even a Ranger by the end of 2023-2024? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, the link is going to be in the description to both the Reddit post and the actual article. But for now, thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. and bye.